Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or whenever you're watching me right now. My name is Jay Luke, the owner and operator of the Passionate Network, and I'm also the host of Talk That Talk. Remember, you can get any of our merchandise right here on this channel. Click on whatever you want, and you can get 30% off your purchase. Just type in HBCU band. You can type in the promo code HBCU band. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Passionate Network, and don't forget to turn on those notifications, man. I saw this pop up, and so I went on a little deep dive about this, and it's very interesting. And I actually want to go through this, man, and just talk about it and just talk about how crazy this is. So this says a financially troubled historically black college in Nashville, Tennessee, which we kind of know who it is, and they're going to talk about it later on, is apparently asking a student on a full ride scholarship to return nearly $5,000. That's crazy. A full ride scholarship. Now we need you to get that money back. That kind of defeats the purpose of a scholarship, if I'm not mistaken. As a result, the student has been forced to take out a loan, but his mother doesn't think he should have to pay for the university's mistake. We have a family legacy. The Tennessee State University student's mother, Chakisha Abraham Zakari. I think I said that right. Ibrahim Zakari said, so many people in my family have gone to TSU and graduated from TSU and are very proud alumni at TSU. Ibrahim Zakari also hoped her kids would have an HBCU experience. She was always reminding her children to keep their grades up. Make sure that you pay attention to your academics so that you can go to any school you want and that you don't have to go into debt to do it. That was the objective from the very beginning, she said. Ibrahim Sakari's son, a sophomore at Tennessee State, ended up getting a full ride scholarship. What happened next was an unexpected surprise. In the fall of his first year, TSU sent an overpayment check of, I think, about $4,900, saying that he had excess financial aid. So, for those of you guys who have had that particular situation, you already know what it is, right? You get financial aid or you get a scholarship, and at the end of the year, they send you that refund check. That's basically what it is. It's a refund check. And I'm pretty sure he banked it. He probably put it into his wallet or whatever, but we're going to see what this says. Her son cashed the check. A year later, in October 2024, Ibrahim Zakari's son received an email claiming he was not eligible for the refund and they needed the money back. You realize this a year later, that you weren't eligible for a refund that you were given, that you gave, and that kid's or his year was paid for, but he wasn't eligible for it. Make that make sense. Now, Ibrahim Zakari's son has a hold on his account for an unpaid balance for the same amount as the check. This is some dirty work. This is some dirty work. He can't register for spring classes or get his dorm assignment. Leave. Chunk deuces. Because they made a mistake. They want my son and others like him to make up for their mistake. I'm gonna keep trying to say this. Ibrahim Kazari Zakaria, Ibrahim Zakaria, dang, I've been saying it the wrong time the whole time, is disappointed in the school that has meant so much to her family. Because of the mistake, her son is forced to take out a student loan to pay the balance when he came to the university on a full scholarship. It's too stressful for the students, according to Ibrahim Zakaria. Now, the question is, on the acceptance letter, if it's saying that it's a full scholarship and it's covered, and that paper was that's a contract. Once that document is signed, it's tight. It's absolutely tight. The fact that they doing this is, like I said, it's dirty work. She says her son is planning to transfer to another university to finish out a degree. Smart move. Smart move, young man. Smart move. Mom, you taught him well. Now, I don't know about taking out that loan though to cover that balance for them, but that's a whole nother conversation. He even now regrets going to the school at all. He doesn't feel good at all about this experience compared to the other people in the family who are so proud to have gone to TSU. Tennessee State has not reported to comment on this particular situation. Like I said, this is dirty work. Um, Listen, when you get that full ride scholarship, bro, everything is paid for. Everything is covered. And yeah, you do get a refund check. And yes, it's your refund check, it's your money. It's your bread. And regardless of whatever he decided to do with it, that was basically on him. Now he could have pocketed, he could have bought a car, he could have, you know, I don't know, got a little apartment daddy. I mean, with that much money, you only gonna pay for like 1 month of rent anyway, with the way that this economy is. But the reality of the situation is the fact that that was his money, bro. And for you all to come back and be like, "Hey, we need this money back." That's rough. Like, how you gonna do that? So what I'm to understand, let's just keep it a buck. Like Tennessee State is in a very rough financial situation based on years of being in financial situations. So this is not something that just came about. This is something that has kind of been, happening over time. And from what I'm to understand, it's a lot of things that are involved in that. Obviously, they receive state funding, but the funding from other sources did not match, meet, or exceed the state funding. Not to mention the fact that there's some conversation about spending in the wrong areas, overspending in certain areas. And I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of rightfully so, but then it's not, right? Like, and if you understand how state funding works, state funding is only to be able to cover specific things, right? So it's not spent for auxiliary things. And unfortunately, they look at housing and stuff like that as auxiliary. Now you can pay for research or upgrades to specific areas with on the campus, not dormitories, but like labs and stuff like that, right? Well, the problem that they're running into is, if I'm not mistaken, they receive the state funding, but other things were other means of financial growth just weren't happening, right? A lot of what happens when you talk about universities or in finances are based on enrollment. Well, if you don't have the enrollment, specifically based on if you don't have the dorms don't get paid for. Then what happens? Well, then the enrollment's going to be low, right? And then you have to think about the growing cost of everything that we are experiencing, period, right? And now the growing cost of education. And so with all those things happening, kids are enrolling in school. I'm not saying the alumni are giving back, but the alumni probably aren't giving nearly as much as that needs to happen on a university campus, specifically an HBCU. And you got to think about it, man. PWIs don't necessarily have that specific situation between the things that happen on their campus, as far as alumni giving back, the level of people who are enrolling into these universities, and so on and so forth. And so I think it's sad, the fact that we have an HBCU experiencing this particular situation. I think it's sad because I don't think this is the only HBCU that's in this situation. I think this is the only one that's out in this particular time. I think it's sad in the sense that HBCUs historically, um, by and large, have somewhat kind of always been behind the eight ball when you talk about a fiduciary responsibility, because we're trying to play catch up, right? And our universities or HBCUs were created for us, not necessarily by us, depending on what history you're talking about. But most of our HBCUs were created for us, but now a lot of us are not going to our HBCUs, and even though um, some of us or many of us are going, we're not giving back because of the alumni base, because of financial responsibilities, so on and so forth. So there is, and then obviously the other half of that too is people misappropriate funds, man. Like, things happen, and I'm not saying that it's a good thing. I'm just saying people see dollar signs. They're in positions to where they can take those funds and they use them inappropriately and misappropriate them. And unfortunately that happens at HBCUs. It happens at PWIs. I think the problem is because you're talking about in a situation where our funds are low already, it's just more easily to be detected when those funds go missing. But my biggest thing is, I really feel that it's bad that it's happening at any HBCUs. And I really don't want to see any HBCU another HBCU go down, lose their accreditation, or whatever. Again, these universities are here for us. Now, again, the opportunity for us to be able to go to other institutions, PWIs, and so much, and so on and so forth, is there. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of us are going to those, and for multiple reasons, right? Like, some people feel like your opportunities are better at PWIs than it is at HBCUs, and depending on what your degree is, that may be true. I'm not saying it is, so please don't go quote me saying that I said that PWIs are better than HBCU. I never said that. What I'm saying is that there may be an argument that pending your degree, going to a predominantly white institution may be better for you from a career perspective. And that may be the information that a lot of these kids are getting, which gives them the energy to want to go to a PWI. I mean, when you think about it, if I'm a Black kid in a suburban area and I go to a predominantly white high school or a very, very mixed high school, and I don't go to a Black high school, I don't go to a high school where most of my teachers look like me or anything like that, they're not going to be pushing a lot of HBCUs. Now, from a home perspective, I don't know what that home perspective looks like, but and I'm in the state of Texas. So if I'm in a predominantly, mixed school or predominantly white area, they're going to be pumping TCU, UNT, um, uh, Texas A&M, UT, like all of these different, schools, because they're not well versed in HBCUs. And so me as the Black kid who thinks that I have a better chance, or I have a chance to go to somebody's university, and this is the information that I'm receiving for a minimum of 4 years of high school, that's probably where I'm gonna go. So I think this is really something that we need to continue to watch. It's something that we need to continue to look out for. But I also think that we need to continue to find a way to support our HBCUs. I think this is crazy in the fact that Tennessee State is experiencing this, but I also think that's crazy in the way that they're trying to get their bread back. You gave that man a full ride. That man has a full ride. Y'all gave that man that refund. Y'all need to honor that refund. Don't let that man sit up there and have to get a loan to pay back a refund that he rightfully got from the university that he signed a contract on his full ride scholarship saying that was his money. That's just that, again, that is dirty work. And you guys got to do better with finding a way to be able to recuperate that money other than doing it that way. I don't know, man. You guys tell me what you all think inside of the comment section. Do you think Tennessee State was right for getting all this money? Do you think that we need to find a better way to fund our HBCUs by giving back, by giving, finding more areas of grants, so on and so forth, man? I want you guys to leave all that information down in the comment section. Don't forget, you can get any of our merchandise right here on this channel. You can get 30% off your purchase. Just type in the promo code HBCU band. Last thing, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.